Winter's almost over and the summer's coming. The days are getting long. Waited all winter for the time to be right, just to take you along. Baby, get ready. It don't matter if we sit forever and the fish don't bite. Just jump in the river and cool ourselves from the heat of the night. Baby, get ready. Ooh, you and me go fishing in the dark, lying on our backs and counting stars where the cool grass grows. Down by the river in the full moonlight, we'll be falling in love in the middle of the night, just moving slow. Spend the whole night through, feels so good to be with you and me. Go fishing in the dark, lying on our backs and counting stars where the cool grass grows. Down by the river in the full moonlight, we'll be falling in love in the middle of the night, just moving slow. Yeah, you and me go fishing in the dark.
What's up, everybody?
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
How does everybody feel to not have a case of the Mondays?
You know, it's funny you say that because every time I woke up last night, I was thinking, I'm not going to regret Monday. And I woke up a lot last night.
Puppies, kids, farm, you know.
Yeah.
You got one or two balls of fire. Miss Amanda Mendez is back. She's alive and living after being sick. It's going around. I know Miss Misty isn't feeling hot, so but it's, you know, that spring change in the time of the air is definitely coming around.
I am so glad to be back. I'll tell you that I wouldn't have wished any of that on my worst enemy. Like, that was the sickest I think I've ever been. But yay, I'm here.
Yeah, it's fun. All right.
Well, when you
All
go
right.
from 72 one day to what, 50 something the next day, you're
It
bound
was
to get
34
sick.
degrees this morning when I walked Major here.
Yeah, it was freaking cold this morning. The
Yeah,
sun
it
is
was.
out, but
Where are
Yeah.
you, Trevor?
We are right by Park City, Utah now.
Ah.
So we're outside of where Walnetta is. Walnetta's down in Salt Lake, but we're up in the mountains. So yeah, Red, but you're about to get your face melted off, buddy. I've been to Texas once or twice in the summer.
me too.
I love Texas in the winter, but we're coming June 13th. We'll be in Houston, so I'm flying in for that. So yeah, humid. Yeah. So Mel and I were just talking about it. We are definitely Texas, take that line up west human beings. We definitely prefer if once you've lived in a dry climate for enough of your life, it's you're just, when you go into humidity, you're like, why do people choose to live here when they don't have to? So yeah. All right, well, let's talk about some wins. I want to hear about everybody's wins.
Growing our team. That's exciting.
You sound like you were yelling at a concert all weekend.
This is better than it's been the past 3 days.
He sounds like what was the guy? Barry White. He's like, hey, how you doing? Wolfman Jack here on the radio.
I actually talked to a lady Saturday. She couldn't hear me because I couldn't talk, and so she hung up on me. I was like, and then I had to repeat myself several times talking to other people. It's like, oh my gosh.
Hey,
Yeah. You gotta take care of your voice here too. One time I did 42 interviews in a week, and by the end of the week I couldn't talk. I actually couldn't make sales calls afterwards. So
Well, I had a lady Saturday tell me that, anyways, she wasn't interested, but anyway, she told me, to use eat lemons and lemon water, real strong lemon water. That's what drill instructors do to
Yep.
keep your voice. So
it's what my grandpa did. So my grandpa was a drill sergeant, one of them in the Marines for 20 of the years he was in. They don't actually let you do that anymore because they know now it's incredibly unhealthy for people to be a drill sergeant that long. But back in the 60s, that was something they did. So yeah, he would do lemon with cayenne is what he
oh
said.
dear.
So like not a ton of cayenne, just a little bit. Right? You're not heaping teaspoons of cayenne in, but lemon with cayenne, and I've used it many of time over the years. It definitely works.
I'm gonna try that for sure. Also we have one of our two new team members on here, Rhett. He's
Yeah.
from Texas. He's already licensed,
Nice.
and I told him how good of a leader you were, Trevor, and he's ready to meet you.
Oh, well, he's meeting me right now. There we go. One of the easiest ways to hang out with me is be in office hours in the afternoons. I will be there. Awesome. Well, welcome, Rhett. Where in Texas are you at? I saw the Texas comment. Where in Texas are you?
I'm in Weatherford, so
Oh, yeah.
about I don't know, about an hour west of the Metroplex, the DFW Metroplex.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a bunch of family in like Arlington and then up in Euless. All the Euless people work at the airport, so that's why you live in Euless.
Yeah, that's the Metroplex. I try to stay away from that area if I can.
Yeah, I totally understand. A lot less traffic where you are if you can stay out there.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited. I'm ready to get going.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we have training starting this afternoon. All right, who else? Let's hear some wins. I know there's wins because I've seen posts, but y'all are being bashful and shy this morning. All right.
Well, I'll
Nobody.
go.
Let's hear
Hi.
it.
Okay, well, I did make a mistake with the, submission thing, for AMAM last week, but it was like kind of it was essentially one call close. So that was good. And even though I didn't dig like quite deeply enough, I mean, the lady still wanted something that would like take care of her mortgage and provide something in case she would be unemployed. So like a waiver of premium or unemployment rider. So and I got her what she wanted, and I made sure it fit her budget. And we're supposed to hopefully submit the app this evening. So yeah, and Trevor had to help a lot, but so thank you. But yeah.
That's that we're going to talk about that today. That is part of my role here is to be able to do that, right? And to be able to help. You can't learn this on your own without helping others. And like ask yourself this, would you go for like if you were I'll say it like this, if you were trying to figure out how to fix your car, right? And you're like, hey, I ain't got any money right now, I got to fix my car, right? I got to figure it out. I'm going to go on YouTube, I'm going to watch some videos, I'm going to figure this out. And you had an opportunity to call a guy that's been a mechanic for 25 years to get some advice, or you could choose to like not call them. Would you take advantage and call the guy that was a mechanic that had 25 years of experience? Right? For the most part, most of them would say yes. Some people will say no because they're just stubborn. But right, like that's the opportunity you have here, right? Is it's not just while we work for ourselves, we're not by ourselves here. Like we need to remember that, right? Like where it's going. So yeah, so we're going to like that kind of like rolls into like the theme really well today. Because we're going to talk about knowing yourself to lead yourself. Um, and do your actions map what you say your goals are? Some people yes, some people no. And that's why we see, winners and people that aren't winning is, those kind of things. But, we always want to start off and celebrate some wins here. Keith talked about it, introduced Rhett, so I'm super proud of this last week, right? Like we had a great week. You know, we had a ton of interviews, we had a ton completed, and more importantly, as we're giving people this opportunity, I'm going to show you guys some numbers here. One of the big things, I want to give a shout out here first. I don't know if, oh, she's on there. She is. She's hiding not behind her camera. Miss Heidi again leading the way, right? How we feeling, Miss Heidi, on this wonderful Monday morning?
A lot better than last week, so that's definitely a win.
There you go. And why is that?
Well, I mean, so I was looking at it last week and I still did pretty darn well. Like, I'm still pretty proud of myself and the effort that I put in, despite how crappy I'm feeling. So I feel like there's no excuses anymore to not at least do that well moving forward. You know what I mean? Like, I could probably do
I
like
do know what you mean.
twice as much this week. I just like really very like realistically, and it won't be much of a problem. So it's just like actually putting in the work, you know?
Nice. And right, so you're seeing, right, having activity and setting goals is like helping you get there. So I love that, you know, Miss Allie, she had a name she was talking to, said, hey, Trevor, I want, you know, let me introduce you, had me jump on a quick call with her. You know, she had been looking for something. We're going to talk about how many people are actively looking for stuff today. Miller and S had her first interview last week, even though she, you know, thought she couldn't do it, she could. You know, Angie and Lloyd, came under Lloyd. Angie's brother also decided to come over here. He's already licensed as well, so they're super excited. Angie's, you know, got her team going, and then, you know, I'm super excited. Miss Sandra, right, got her first ready to write. So, Heidi, you know, TJ has Mr. Shannon here, right? You know, I know Mr. Shannon was kind of leaking in the background. You know, and Miss Walnetta also brought in. So, let's hear it, Miss Sandra. How you feeling, young lady?
I'm feeling great, super excited. And have another one coming on this week. She should be getting her W-9. She's already, I mean, she should be in her W-9N. She's already licensed. So I'll have another one this week. And I had a great interview this morning with an unlicensed person, but he seems super motivated and excited. And we're going to do a follow-up Zoom. So yeah, I'm very excited. And Heidi and I teamed up for the contest, so we're ready to blow this up.
I like it. We're going to talk about that contest a little bit later today too. So, because you do not want to have to wear the cone of shame. So, no one likes the cone of shame. All right. How we feeling, Miss Walnetta? How you feeling about getting, you know, getting going, building, and getting it in gear?
I feel really good about it. You know, I've done it, you know, since I started. I mean, brought a lot of people on, and as we say, you know, the people that take us to be at different levels will not be there most likely when we get to the top. But that's okay. It's part of the business, and I've had a lot of really good conversations with people. I had people that are wanting to come on, and you know, I have one girl that she says, you know, she's just like, thank you so much. She calls me Miss Boss Lady. I'm like, I am not your boss, but she's young and but she's had some disabilities, some problem, and she says, I just thank you for taking a chance with me. And you know, Trevor talks about this all the time. We don't know who's going to succeed and not succeed here. The person that is the most enthusiastic and excited about it may not make it here. You know, so this is an opportunity that we're putting out to everybody, right? I've also had some people reach out to me from my Facebook post and from my Nextdoor post as well. So that's been super exciting as well. So yeah, I'm super pumped about it.
Awesome. Love it. I saw Mr. Shane started dialing last week. How you feeling after making some of those first phone calls, young man?
Yeah. Little difficult over the script as I was going through, kind of add things in there a little bit. It got better as it went on. It's just finding, I got the screen up with the words on it, and I'm trying to just do it by memory instead of reading it off a paper or something.
Yeah, and that just comes from doing it enough, right? When you start reading it hundreds and hundreds of times, it'll just naturally come, right? Like even to this day, I will keep it up. So it's one of those things that as you it's about becoming, you're consciously aware that you're unconfident in it right now, right? So the
Yes.
goal is to get you to where you're consciously competent. And then what's really cool is then when you transition to unconsciously competent, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't have to game plan for someone. I can game plan on the fly. Like you can just give me, everybody on this call could fire me info and I'd tell you where to go. Why? Because I've done that action hundreds and now thousands of times. It's the same thing, right? Like
Yeah.
as you're going in, but that's how you start, right? You feel like a baby giraffe on ice skates in a pond that's kind of melted, and you're like, you feel like you're reading it, and then the next week, okay, maybe I don't feel like I'm reading it so much, right? But that's why we have you make all those calls. The more calls you make, right? There's a reason we say get 1,000 calls out of the way, get 30 appointments out of the way, because if you get those 1,000 calls out of the way, you'll feel way better as you go forward.
Oh yeah,
So,
definitely. But I've
right,
been
as you
picking
start
up on
working
a
through it.
lot of the rebuttals now too. They're starting to come real naturally. Somebody said, "Oh, we already have it," and it just came off the tongue. I said, "Well, if I could find you a better rate, would you be interested?" So those rebuttals are coming a lot quicker and a lot easier too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Love hearing that. That really makes a difference. We're going to talk about production this week too. Shout out to Miss Kristen getting that nice app in #1 on the leaderboard last week. Miss Emily, talked about her sales. And I want to give a shout out here to Miss Chloe. She's got another one she's looking to write here today. Forster's had a little bit of issues with their tech over the weekend, unfortunately. So they and it wasn't their fault, it was an iPipeline issue. So for those that are new, you hear the term iPipeline. A bunch of the carriers use a third-party software called iPipeline. And going from there, why is there a comment that says my government name is not TNT? I have no idea what you are. It scares you when you see that. But yeah, are you there? I know Miss Chloe's on. I don't know if she's able to talk. She's got the kiddos this morning, but I'd love for her to talk about her sale.
Hey, I'm here. There's a movie going on in the background, so sorry for the distraction. But no, it was great. I was able to work with the client. The APV is expected to be about 2,300, I think. And I'm so proud of it because I pushed myself to really, I don't know. I wasn't really initially a big seller, so really pushing myself and seeing the success with it and that #2 with it from one of these leads. I think it was, I don't know, it was, yeah, I'm proud of it. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, and that's that matters, right? Like you could see its work. It's all about putting the action in, right? And for those that heard, even at her level, right, like writing that kind of app, she's gonna have about 50% of that cash deposited, a little bit more like into her account, right? It's gonna process, it's gonna go in and she's gonna get, by the time she gets her 75% advance off her commission, right? Like she's gonna get, a comma deposit. We all like comma deposits. So, right, like that's something we want to look at there. And we're going to talk about production, right? And that's going to kind of transition me into this week. All right, guys. So for everybody that's new, this is going to be a little weird. It's going to mess with your brain a little bit, okay? So we are at the end of the month for place business, but Symmetry starting its new month. So you have to remember there's 2 ways in which we count our production here, okay? Symmetry tracks in a week by week basis, okay? Which means we start on Friday night, Saturday morning at 12:01 a.m., and then it ends Friday night at 11:59 p.m., okay? That's our turn-in weeks. Okay, so when you see leaderboards in the APV, that's what it's based on. That being said, the insurance carriers don't care that Symmetry does that. They bill month to month. They bill from the first of the month to the 30th or 31st, and in February the 28th and 29th on leap years. Okay. So when you're going for promotions, right, you have until the end of the month to make sure that business is placed. So example, if you've wrote an estate before and you write an Americo policy today and the client's going to pay right away, if you say, hey, we're not putting the payment out a few weeks, Americo will get that policy placed by tomorrow, right? That policy will count towards your promotion for this month. Okay. So as we look at these things, I want to make sure everybody really understands Slingshot because it's important. Okay. So if you're a new agent here and you're at 80%, our levels work in 2 and then 3 month increments. You can place 2,500 a month. This isn't how much APV you wrote. This is net placed business. Okay. But if you want to skip that and in 1 month place 5,000, you'll go right to 85, right? And then if you skip that, you can go the next month, you can go to 90 and 95. So your first 3 levels, right? You can go 85, 90, 95. All right. And just work your way up just like that. And that's net place. Now there's an important thing in here. In a 4-week turn-in, you have to write an application 3 out of the 4 weeks. And now this month is May. We get 5 weeks to turn in this week. 5, guys. So that means if you want your Slingshot, you have to turn in an app in at least 4 of those weeks. This is a chance for you to get promoted very quickly here. Okay. It's a 5-week turn in for you to get promoted, right? May is also 31 days. We have a whole month to get that done. So, right, let's get out of the basement. Let's get up to 85. If you're at 85, let's get to 90, right? And keep pushing forward. But when you hear us talking about Slingshot, this is what we're talking about. Okay. So, right, as we look at things, we're looking at, net place commission, right? So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about knowing yourself to lead yourself and do your actions map your goals. Frankly, most people's don't. That's just the reality. And whether you're at Symmetry or not, that's just the reality of most people. Most people want public praise and have very little private discipline. Okay. Are you leading yourself? Right? Like some of us here have to sell a policy so we can eat, right? This is how we are really actually paying our bills. Some of us, this is a part-time gig, and whether you produce or not is okay. But it's going to show in what your goals are. Okay. But what I really want to talk about is, are you truly leading yourself yet, or are you still waiting for someone else to? Okay. Leadership starts internally, not externally. You have to lead yourself internally. All right. No one's coming to save you here. No one's coming to save you in life. No one. Okay. Right. There's nothing coming there. Right. But here's what's awesome about Symmetry. You have everything you need here if you choose to act. And most people choose to be yo-yos, as they'll act for 2 days and then they drop. And then they act for a day and then they dropped. Or then they act for a week and then they dropped. Or then they act for 2 weeks and they drop. Right? Consistency is key in what you're doing. All right. So these are some stats on things to think about for production and building. 56% of all US workers are actively pursuing new opportunities. That's 90 million people that hate their job that have admitted it. I know that number's higher, right? Think about how many people you know in your own personal life that don't like what they do and they feel stuck, that go to a job because they're making enough money now and they're like, I can't switch out of this. I got to provide for my family. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. That we know of, there's 90 million workers. What would 5,000 of those people do to your agency? What would 50 of those people do to your agency? Right? Like, what would that do for your life? Right? Think about that many million people that don't want to have a boss, want to be able to come and go as they please and do that. Okay. Let's talk about producing. 102 million Americans lack proper or any life insurance coverage. And it's because 72% of them overestimate the costs, right? They think there's no way I can afford this. Oh, that doesn't make sense for me, right? I was helping Allison Van Treek with a quote unquote high level client, right? He was the guy that thought he had, like, came across as he had money, but he didn't. And we got on the call and he had a $4.5 million house and a $2.7 million mortgage. And he was 67. And I offered the opportunity, okay, over the next 10 years to invest $720,000 into a policy, and that policy be worth $2.7 million. How many of you, if I could 5x your money in 10 years, would you take that opportunity? Right? Those are the opportunities we have here, right? He had every excuse in the book, this and that, whatever, right? That's there. Let's talk about our subject matter experts. If you were on the morning call, okay, you heard the flex method talked about. I am certified in the flex method, okay? So this is a method that we can only share some about, but we can show our clients, okay? It's coming, it's going to get rolled out here more, but it is a game changer. It is a just life-changing opportunity for clients. And I want you to, we've been talking about this, and I'm going to keep hammering this, okay? There's $1.7 trillion in student loan debt, 1.2 trillion in credit card debt, 1.56 trillion, right, in auto loans. I didn't add the auto loan part because it made it too long. I didn't want it to go over. And $12 trillion in mortgage debt. $12 trillion. All you have to do is ask one question on the DFL survey. If I could show you how to pay off your home in 9 to 14 years without spending one more dollar than you currently are, would that help you financially and help you retire sooner? And we have a subject matter expert on our team. Miss Walnetta is there, right? Emily called me last night, right? We were helping this family. They're currently active in the military, so they have the SGLI insurance. And they're doing a lifer. They got 16 more years in, but they're 38. And I just asked her a simple question. If I could, that very question, she was like, well, yeah, that would totally help me. I said, great. Let's set up a 5-minute phone call with our subject matter expert and see if it makes sense, right? If that does, it's there. That's what's awesome about it. It's available. So I want everybody to take all that info, know that you don't have an excuse on why you can't succeed, but what brought you here and why are you not willing to change? Why are you still doing the things that you used to do in your previous career that you're not doing now? So there's 3 core things to assess in yourself. You need to, 1, look at your vision. What's your vision? Okay. How big is it? It's probably not big enough. All right. Your vision is probably not big enough for what you really want in your life. Okay. Because remember, small visions create small actions. And I really challenge you to map what your big picture looks like. What does it really look like? Does it look like I can go when I want, whenever I want? Right? I remember listening to a gentleman who's been here a long time and very successful. His name's Marlon Faulkner. And he was talking about, he's like, if I want to go spend $30,000 in a weekend, I can. But he can do that because the money's the byproduct. He's interested in helping people first, and he has a big vision. Okay. What's your commitment? This is the one I'm going to challenge you all on. Because frankly, most people's commitment isn't what you tell me you say it is. Know how I see? I see who's posting their DCAs every day. I see who's using the counting what counts. I see those different type of things, right? Like, I see it, right? What is your true level of commitment to get you to where you want to go? I can't do that for you. No one else can do it for you, right? Commitment is proven by daily action, not just words. Period. The end. What are your actions? Do you show up to the team calls, right? Ready to go, paying attention? Are you taking notes? Are you actually actively listening, trying to learn? Or are you doing something else, right? Like, are you really proving your daily actions? Frankly, most people aren't. And then emotional stability. Are you solid or shaky? Do you stay even keeled or do you get rattled by little things? Because top leaders are rarely impressed, they're rarely scared, and they're driven by what matters, not by approval or fear. I really want you to think about that last one. Are you driven by what matters and not by approval or fear? Approval of your spouse, approval of your friends, approval of your family. Are you fearful of what your friends or family might say? Right? Are you fearful of what you might say to yourself? Ask yourself that, right? So, vision, commitment, emotional stability, right? Those are three things you need to not only be a leader, but to lead yourself. Okay? Right? You have to know yourself to lead yourself. So, are you driven by what matters and not by those things? So, let's talk about self reflection. Why are we not doing what we say we want to do? And where's your disbelief coming from? What's your disbelief coming from? It's generally because you don't believe the activity is worth it, right? You're like, I'm not going to dial because enough people won't answer, or I'm not skilled enough yet, or insert excuse here. What's your excuse on why you're not picking up the phone to help protect families? We just read there's 102 million Americans that are either underinsured or not insured in life insurance. You don't need a million of them. You don't need 500,000 of them, right? Go write 5 applications a week and watch your life change. 5, right? 5 applications a week and you will watch your life change. But is it a belief that it's there, right? So I call this the Eeyore disease, right? Right? Woe is me. I can't do this. It's too hard. I don't want to dial. I got to go clean under my silverware drawer today. Oh, I got to go clean up that outside. Oh, I better go fix this. I'm going to work on my business, not in my business. It is, right? What is your disbelief coming from? Right? Would everyone here say that the leaders they've got to listen to and meet here for the most part, right? The ones that you really see on the leaderboards being successful, do you think they have disbelief in what symmetry is and what it can do for them? Have you ever met, right? Have you ever been somewhere like this? Like, think about culture and the opportunity here. We're on Earth. Can you give yourself a raise today and not have one slow you down? Here's the best part. We can all be successful together and it doesn't tear anybody else down. That's one of my favorite parts of this, okay? And you have to say it's worth doing it because it grows you, not just because of immediate results. Most of us want instant gratification. If the second it doesn't give us what we want, we're like, it's not worth it. People won't answer. They're mean to me, right? Like, I don't care what they say. Their opinion has no value on my life. It does not matter to me. I don't care if they're mean to me. And frankly, I have empathy for them, right? Like, if someone's acting that way, think about how miserable they are inside, right? And then vice versa. Are you just here for the culture? Are you here just because our culture is awesome? It is. Symmetry's culture is unbelievable. And you see people that just come and they want to come hang out on these calls because they like to be motivated and they like being around the culture, but then they don't actually put the activities in to get you to where you want to go, right? Like, it comes down to this, being critical versus curious for me on this, okay? When you're insecure, you become critical of everything. When you're insecure, you become critical of the script, of the leads, of the team, of your mentor. Insert, I'm insecure about this, so I'm going to be critical here, right? I'm insecure, so I'm not going to let Trevor listen to me and let me help him. I'm insecure that I can't record myself, so I'm not going to get better, right? And where we are critical, it's because we lack trust, right? Where do we lack trust? Right? Like, where do you lack that trust at? Because first and foremost, it's in yourself, right? Remind yourself what made you reach out to this position. Remind yourself what made you respond to that ad or to your friend or to your family member and said, hey, I want to figure this out. I'm going to show up here, right? I need you to mindset and flip this. I need you to be curious, not critical. Ask yourself, how does that work? One of the best things I did here was I was just super curious. I went and pressed every button. I did a ton of it wrong, but it made me figure it out way faster. I'm like, oh, what's this do? Oh, what's this do? Right? Like, how many of you really sat down and gone through HQ and opened up everything you have access to and clicked on every box? Right? If you have, you'd be like, oh, that's kind of cool. Didn't know that was there. And then you're like, oh, I need to remember that's there, but you didn't make a note, so you forgot it's there. Right? But go back and be curious, right? And then ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What can I learn today to help me get better? Right? And if something isn't working for you, don't criticize, get curious. I promise if you change that mindset in your life, it will radically change your life. It will change your personal life. It will change your professional life. Right? If you're curious and about how that works. Okay. So, how are we paid here? Right? You're paid on how much value you add, not for your time. Do you add value to your clients' lives? That's how you were rewarded here. If you add value to your life, put a 1 in the chat. If we all agree the policies and the products we have can bring value to our clients' lives, if you believe that. Right? Because money is a representation of how many people you've helped, whether you're building an agency or whether you're helping protect a family. Money is the result, okay? The more you serve, the more you solve, and the more you lead, the more you earn. If you come aggressively at a client because you're like, if I don't sell this policy, I can't make this bill, they're going to feel that. If you come from a place that says, I'm here to solve, they're going to feel that. If you're starting to build and you're like, yes, I'm going to believe in this system, are you going to help your agent solve their problem? Because everybody has a different problem. Some of it is, hey, I just want to make $1,000 a month, Trev. That's cool. Winners win. If you're here and that's all it is, I'm okay with that. Right? Like, hey, it's there. Most of the people on this call, though, that's not what they've told me. Right? That's not what they've said to me. Right? They've said the opposite. They've said, hey, I want my time back, right? Because I want to be able to do what I want when I want and have the funds to be able to do it. Well, how do you do that? You serve your soul and you lead. And you first have to lead yourself. And you have to put in the actions in order to do that. Totally agree, Shane. Desperation is a stinking cologne. Absolutely. I love that saying. It is, right? People feel that when you come across, right? Think about the people you've sat across and it's like, right? Like, I have a rule when I'm buying a car now, right? I know what I want. When I buy a vehicle, I won't spend more than 1 hour in the dealership. And if I have to spend more than 1 hour, I will physically get up and walk out. And you can all ask Mel if I've done this before. I have. I couldn't believe it. Because when I come in, I've set very clear expectations of, I need you to solve this problem for me, and I'm here to have you serve me. Right? And I will tell them if they start giving the rigmarole, I'm done. I've literally got out and walked out of dealerships multiple times in my life. Where we bought in my last business, where we bought all our fleet trucks, opposite. They were amazing. Our fleet dude serviced us. When we bought a new vehicle, it was ready to go. We would walk in and we didn't spend an hour. We spent 15 minutes in there signing paperwork, and we would spend 15 just hanging out talking to him because it was fun, right? That guy served and solved my problem, right? I need another piece of equipment. It's there. I need to make sure if something happens to me, I have living benefits. So if I have money coming in, that my mortgage is protected, that my final expenses are paid for, right? What is that you're trying to solve? Are you trying to solve it for an agent that says, hey, I hate this job I'm in. I hate this life I'm living. I hate this road I'm going down. Are you trying to change that in someone's life? It's value for impact, not hours for dollars. We are sold this awful lie here in America that you are sold hours for dollars. Okay. It is a terrible, terrible system. It is literally enslavement, in my opinion. Okay. The mindset that you're forced to have, and it's changing some now, but you got to go to college and you have to get a job and you got to trade all your hours for dollars. Guess what? You are valued here and your bank account is delivered by the impact you bring to families' lives and agents' lives. Right? That is how you're impacted. What value are you bringing? Okay. So let's start about setting standards. If you're not hitting your goals, what are you actually doing daily? And you don't send me your goals and commitments because you won't commit to yourself. Most of the people on here are too scared to send those to me because you won't even commit to yourself. You won't even send them. You won't send them to me because you won't commit it. Everybody you can go ask. So my direct mentor, Scott Summers, has my goals. Our managing partner, Kevin Purdy, has my goals. My other mentor, Sarah Reinecke, has my goals. Okay. Kelly Bush has my goals. My mentors and the people that are helping me grow here, they know what my goals are. They're very clear. And guess what? They hold me accountable. I want them to do that. Right? They ask me, hey, where are you at on your path? How are you coming on this? Where are you going from there? Right? But you don't ask, you don't do that because you won't commit. You're not hurting me. You won't commit to yourself. You won't commit to yourself. You aren't willing to step up and say, here's what it is. And here's the deal. We're going to just talk about sales here. Okay. Like just producing, because we all need to have income coming in. I don't care what the number is. It does not matter if it is $500, $1,000, $5,000, $20,000 this month. I don't care what your number is. You need a budget and you need a goal. Budget is as if I don't hit this, I starve, and we don't miss budget numbers. Okay. We don't miss our budget number ever. Like budget is, I made my mortgage payment. I made the car payment. I paid for my insurance. I ate this month. I paid for my cell phone bill, right? I have to sell my budget number to be there. What is your budget number? And what is your goal number? And if you haven't mapped that, go map that today. And again, I don't care what the number is. I want to be really clear. It does not matter what the daily number is. You have to have a number though, or you can't achieve it. All right. And daily standards drive weekly results. Weekly results drive monthly growth. Our goal, right? It's our must hit minimum. What makes you feel uncomfortable but grows you massively, right? I have some big lofty goals here. It is making me grow. Like I pay a coach one-on-one. I was talking to another agency owner on Saturday here at Symmetry, and he asked me what I pay for a month for it. He was like, I should be investing that, but I'm not. He knows he should, but he's not doing it. He's not committed yet, right? He's not committed to make that investment into himself. Know why? Because I know I got to go sell a policy to fund my coach that I go to, right? On top of having mentors, I have a coach I go work with, right? Like what drives that? What are your real goals, right? Like ask yourself what you're accountable. And then there's some people here that are crushing it with it, right? I'm going to give Kristen Blankenship a shout out here because she sends me an accountability post every single solitary day. She said, Trevor, I'm going to start doing this. And I want to know, will you help me with this? And we talk about it. And I'm like, hey, well, look there. Hey, how did you hit your goals there? Right? She is consistent with it every day. I know what Kristen's goals are. Right? And I promise you, when she started doing that, she was wildly uncomfortable. Wildly. I know she was because we've talked about it. But Kristen, I'm going to ask you to speak here. How much progress are you seeing because you've done that for yourself?
I have seen a huge amount. The biggest part is pride in myself. proud of myself for doing it. No matter if I'm having a really bad day because I'm sick, I'm still posting something. I'm showing this is what I'm doing. So it helps me every day see what I'm doing, reflect on what I need to do more or change. And it continues to grow. So like it's just doing that has, I will say another part that has helped me in doing it is I do share it with a few other people, and it has actually helped motivate them to start facing what they're actually doing daily. And we get, now I've got some, they'll say, I'm embarrassed by this. It hasn't been the best, but I'm going to still be accountable. So I think it's just empowering. It's a way to learn. It's a way for us to really face things and see the data. And it's inspiring. You inspire yourself and others by doing it.
Love it. Right. So, I love that Walnetta, posted in Telegram this morning, like, hey, I didn't have the week I wanted. Now, bear in mind, she's at the hospital. She's got to give herself a little grace here, right? Like, daughter had a baby. She was helping out. Like, there's things, but she also had a standard set for herself. But do you think Walnetta, because Walnetta is sharing her activities with me as well. Do you think doing that is helping you be more accountable, not to me, but to yourself?
Yeah, it's definitely making me very vulnerable. And doing the accountability, thanks to Kristen, has been an amazing thing for me. To look at myself and see what I'm not doing, because there's a lot I'm not doing. And I know that, and I know where I need to fix it. And so putting that out there yesterday or this morning, whenever it was I did it, was really, really hard for me. But I just have to do it. And because if I don't, then nobody else is going to be able to help me grow. And it's a team effort here.
It is. Like, you have to have those things. So listen, I also go, right? Like I was on this morning, Jim Larson has an accountability group. So for those who are new that don't know, Jim has a massive, massive agency here. He has one of the fastest growing agencies in the company. He's a dynamic leader. But I go there because I'm getting held accountable as well. You heard me say on the morning call, like, hey, I gotta go. Like, I'm getting off the call because I'm going to that group, right? Like you have, like, because it matters to me, right? Like, what happens here, like, matters to me. And I genuinely want you all to succeed. Like, I really, really do. Like, I hope you all feel that. But you have to, I can't want it for you more than you want it for yourself, right? Like, I just can't. And it comes down to, what are you reading? What are you intaking? What are you looking to do? And are you doing these goals, right? So here's my closing challenge for the week. Know yourself to lead yourself, right? Start that today. The past does not matter. The reason the rear view mirror is so much smaller than the windshields, because we're not supposed to look behind us, okay? Look at there. Lead by action, right? Are you helping build the team, right? Are you already starting to build here? Are you leading from the front? Get curious, not critical, and focus on value, not just time. If you bring value to your team and to people, you will be wildly successful here, and you will end up making more money than you ever dreamed of, right? Money that says that you can do what you want when you want, right? Like, that's the real thing is, hey, do I want to be able to go do this right now? And I can because I want to. Let me tell you a really cool feeling. And for those that are new, they haven't heard this. I got to share this on Mel and I, for those that don't know, have done this while we're traveling the country in an RV. Okay. We were in Jacksonville, Florida, coming across the United States, and we were in New Mexico getting fuel. And I was looking at the door while I was filling up, and it was posting the lottery numbers for the week. Like, Powerball was like $300 million. And I remember I looked at it and I said, if I won that today, I wouldn't stop doing what I'm doing right now. Let me be clear again, there would be signs we won, but I wouldn't, like, the scale of this would go way faster because I would have unlimited funds. but I wouldn't stop doing this. Like, that's a really cool feeling to have, is that you can be around and be doing something that you're so passionate about that the money wouldn't change whether you did it or not. Ask yourself if that's where you're at, right? And if you're not, figure out how to get there. Okay. Like, really, really do that. And that is my challenge to all of you. Now, here's a great example. Okay. There's a new contest out for those that weren't on the end of the week call. And here's one of the cool things. You all get to pick your partner in this. Okay. No one likes the cone of shame. I will send you a cone of shame if you don't sign up for this contest. Even if you are brand new, you can sign up for this contest. Okay. You get to pick your partner. It's for the whole month of May. There is multiple ways to win. We're going to show them here. Okay. And we can see who's partnered up already. Okay. So here's what it is, right? The top prize is an invite to a cool party with Danny. And then here's all the point systems. It's in Telegram. You can top APV combined for the week. How many people did you help get signed up for Excel? 1 app written. Make 500 dials in a week. Set 15 appointments, right? Everybody can get 5 points from making 500 calls. Everybody can. There's nothing stopping you from there, right? Go choose your partner, sign up on the sheet. If you don't have one, right, say, hey, I'm looking for a partner. Just ask, right? If you're like, I'm new enough here, I don't have one yet, right? Like, pick a partner and like figure that out. Yeah, absolutely, Chloe. 100%. You can pick anybody you want in Scott's. It doesn't just have to be our team. Anybody in Scott's master agency that you're like, hey, like maybe you hang out in office hours and you become friends, or like Chloe met a running buddy when they went through live mentor training together, right? Like, anybody that you met that kind of thing, like, it's there, like, you can do that, right? Like, anybody that's there. So, and I also want to add, as we're in, like, if you're a little jealous you can't be that there, yes, absolutely, Misty. I'm super excited. We have Miss Jabria, Miss Brittany on this call. Both have recently passed their exams. Miss Bella did as well. I'm excited to get you guys all on boarded here, you know, and get you started. You know, I'm going to have them talk next week about what, you know, kind of what they went through, because they both had to work really hard to get through it. But I'm super proud of you guys for getting here and showing up. As we go through new agents, live mentor training, 5 Eastern today. It is Monday through Friday, right? If you don't show up every day, you're only hurting yourself, right? Like, if you don't come, it's not there. If you have been in it before and you feel like you're not getting anywhere to go, come back around, right? Like, you don't have to do this by yourself. And again, that's what office hours is for. Okay. Now I want to show you all something very cool, because I know who's reading it and who can't, because I can see everything. All right. How many have gone through school and seen what's been updated in there? How much training's in there? Huh? Hush. Feel like a hush fell over the crowd here.
A lot
A
of
lot.
training in there. It's a lot. I've dived in and I'm like, holy smokes, this could take a long time to go through it.
Right. And it's stuff some of you've already gone through our live Thursday trainings, right? So some of it's just a refresher. But if you're like, hey, I'm not sure how to do this, there is a lot of core courses there and what you can do now. Okay. Like, there is a lot of information there that you can start, you know, working through it. Right. So, like, as you go through, engage. If you need a code, hit me up. Finally have my code here coming this week. So, I'm excited. I will be 100% be in Denver. You want to show your commitment, right? Like, sign up for conference, right? Like, that is a way to automatically get there, right? Is, you know, it'll help you right away. And then, all right, we always finish up. For those that are new, you're going to see, maybe, if it loads, it should be updated. Load. Oh, come on. Really? Our Wonder Wheel. All right. So There we go. So our Wonder Wheel. For those wondering what it is, it's pinned in chat. You have a way to win a prize. Miss Kristen and Miss Heidi both got some custom ones that we had made for them. So hopefully they should be landing this week. Some of you, I have that kind of stuff that it's for. What did you say? Now, I had Anna on the list last week. Yes, I did. Yes, I'm aware. I saw the list. I'm on my shit. So, like, I'm on it, right? So, if you're unsure on how to get on this list, what it is you can win something really, really cool. You might win something really, really funny. You're going to get between a $25 and $50 Amazon, Temu, TikTok shop, maybe a custom gift. But if we know you, like, right, like, Miss Kristen's, I can't take credit, it was Mel's idea, but I was like, oh, that's like so, like, it's her. Like, I love the idea behind it, right? Like, so sometimes you might have to wait a week or two to get it. How can you get on this list with no money? Right? One of it's pretty easy, okay? First and foremost, you can just post your DCAs. What are DCAs? Dials, contacts, appointments every day, and show the tracker of the county what counts that you're tracking your own business. That's all you have to do. There's no reason everybody that's working here shouldn't be on this list. If you're not on this list and you're not posting this number and you're not tracking your business, you're only hurting yourself. You're not hurting me, you're hurting yourself. Right? But here's also a chance to win some cool prizes. Okay. So it's no cutoff, Miss Bella, on the tickets. I have a code that'll give a discount. Now let's talk about that real quick. If you're going to conference, book your hotel now. Okay. I promise you the hotel will sell out. The link is in HQ to go book the hotel.
Just so you
What's up?
know, they're all sold out. I
Already?
went on there the other day to all three, and there's nothing available.
I'll go check. That's a
I'll
good
go
sign,
check
but
it.
yeah.
I'll go check again, but yeah.
Yep. I'll double check the link. But yeah, like, listen, go get your hotels reserved. We're in downtown Denver. It's there. But yeah, so we give a spin to the wheel at the end of the week here. And let's see who wins. If we get another back-to-back winner, or we get someone new. Yep, absolutely. You get to cheers. All right, let's see. Uh-oh. It's looking like Miss Lalo. Oh, it is. Uh-oh. I know what I'm saying to Anna too. So love it. So, right. So stay tuned. If anybody has anything, we'll see you in office hours. Let's go have a great week. Again, 5-week turn in. We can have a big month. There is, the only thing holding you back here is yourself, right? And if you guys need help, reach out. That's what we're here for. So let's go have a great week, boys and girls.
Bye.